was thinking if it
Morning, Steve Free in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Well, it's nice and sunny here in Chicago, although temperatures are below normal. As far as the weather is concerned, yesterday most of the Midwest was clear. Today we've got some rains in Texas and up in North Dakota and Minnesota. These rains should drape across most of the Midwest starting Friday into Saturday and Sunday. So the extended outlook calls for a little bit warmer temperatures and also normal to basically above normal precip. So for most of the crops, this is a favorable outlook and offers resistance to market prices. Overnight, we had a little bit of a bounce, kind of a turnaround Wednesday with beans up 4 cents, wheat's up 4 cents, and corn's unchanged. Most people are looking for maybe a little evening up after yesterday's USDA report. The headlines from the USDA is they estimated next year's U.S. soybean carryout at 500 million bushels. That's last time we had something like that was in 2007 when soybean futures were closer to 650 than 950. Other than that, most of the numbers were pretty much in line with what the trade had thought. After the dust had settled, you've got analysts that look at the range of the U.S. 15-16 corn carryout from 1980 to 2275 versus the government's 1746. And I think what they're looking for is maybe a little bit higher yield and maybe a little bit lower export demand to get to those higher numbers. As far as the bean numbers, the average guess is 460 to 640. USDA's 500. I think those that are on the lower side look for a little bit better demand than what the USDA is projecting. And the ones on the higher side may be looking for more acres and a little bit bigger production when it's all said and done. As far as the wheat is concerned, the average guess for the wheat carryout here in the United States in 15-16 is 800 to 900. The government was 793, and again, most people are looking for a little bit bigger crop estimate than what the USDA said and a little bit lower demand. And a lot of that depends upon how the world wheat crop looks and how the world wheat demand unfolds as the rest of the year progresses. Tomorrow we'll have a private estimate of U.S. 2015 acres. USDA's next intention isn't until June, but this group was using corn acres at 89.5. The government's using 89.2, but they're using 85.3 beans versus 84.6 by the USDA. And some people think that this quick planting pace and all these rains that are popping up in some of the dry areas might allow farmers to increase acres maybe as much as 1 million in corn and 2 million in beans from what the USDA said in March. We had another bird flu outbreak in a new state. Nebraska becomes the 16th state to have bird flu found, and we're up to now 32 million birds that have been affected by this. Last night in Hightower's webinar, he suggested selling the July-November bean spread. This has been a tricky spread because of the Chinese pricing underneath the market and the lack of farmers selling. They also suggested outright selling July beans, somewhere around the 970 area, risking about 20 cents to see if it goes back all the way to $9. And they also suggested buying a September 370 corn call just in case the weather changes. They're also looking at selling July wheat around these price levels, looking for it to go down about 50 cents and risking about 10 to 12 cents on the trade. So again, the funds yesterday sold 12,000 beans, 5,000 meal, 1,000 oil, and bought 2,000 corn. Going into the growing season, the funds are short almost 40,000 beans, 116,000 corn, and 110,000 wheat. And we'll see if they can hold on to those positions or if they kind of take some of those positions off. The only thing that would cause them to liquidate those positions would be a change in the weather and mostly on a drier pattern, and that's not really in the cards right now. As always, these are my thoughts, not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services, and have a safe and profitable trading day.